Greetings, Mr. Bandito. You may call me the man behind the desk. Not much is really known about me, except I am the head chief of what is known as the Time Patrol Squad. Alrighty, so you have a job. Are you listening, Mr. Bandito?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Alrighty then. Your mission is to save the future of all Apple computers. Not just the Macintosh, but the Apple II as well. There is this guy, who of course, only goes by the alias Wiseguy. We don't know anything about him yet. But he drives around in the car known as McSlicem. Well, we had to pick that name to make it more family friendly than what was actually chosen. But anyways, he is a dimension hopping and time hopping criminal that seeks to destroy everything related to Apple. Not just the Mac, but everything related to Apple. And his job is to send Steve Jobs to another dimension. You must stop him to prevent the fate of all Apple computers. And without these Apple computers, it could alter the course of computer history as we know it. In fact, Windows might not exist without Apple. I know not everyone likes Apple computers, but Windows existed because of Apple. So yeah, if this were to happen, the fate of Apple computers, as we know, could alter the course of history. Your mission, as I said before, is to prevent that from happening. Here you go, Mr. Bandito. You will be needing this. This is the time-traveling iPod Touch. You will also be needing this. This is what is known as the Dimensional Portal Gun. Yeah, I know. It looks like a Nerf gun, but it is a gun that, with its pellets, can send the criminals back into another dimension. So yeah, you will be needing these. Here you go. Go back in 1975 and catch that criminal. I'm counting on you, Mr. Bandito. Go ahead, and you get an excellent bounty for the reward. So go on. Go ahead and catch that crook.
Thanks, man. I always wanted another weapon in my arsenal. Alrighty, it's time to go back in 1973. Alrighty, here we go. Here comes nothing. Send me back in time. Oh man! Oh look! I see him! He's about to send Steve Jobs back into another dimension. Luckily, I'm here to stop him and prevent that from happening. You're not so wise after all to alter history. and you're about to get sent back into another dimension instead of Steve himself. Prepare. Oh man, he's getting away! And I think he's going into 1986. I gotta get him! Alrighty, set the time coordinates to 1986. Yep, just as I expected. I'm in 1986, and oh look, there's a Macintosh Plus there. You know what that means? While that criminal's too busy getting dynamite to blow up the next building, I will take a look at the Macintosh Plus and reminisce on the good old days of the Macintosh. Greetings, Mac enjoyers, and welcome to this year's MARCHintosh video. Well, my addition to MARCHintosh, where I take a look at the Macintosh Plus, a continuation of the original Macintosh. The Macintosh Plus was introduced in January 15, 1986 and discontinued in October 16, 1990, thus making it, for a while, the longest running Macintosh ever produced. Well, up until the trash can Mac Pro came out. So yeah, it was introduced with little changes. And it came standard with a Motorola 68000 chip that, well, you guessed it, produces 8 megahertz. And it comes standard with 1 megabyte of RAM, but can be upgraded to 4 megabytes, similar to the Macintosh SE, which wouldn't come out until next year in my timeline. But anyways, this is the original, well, one of the original Macs. Yeah, it's not the original Macintosh 128K or even the 512K, but it's close. And this is also one of the earlier Macs, meaning it has no hard drive, and this was before hard drives became standard on computers. So yeah, back in the olden days, you didn't have the comfort of having a built-in hard drive. Instead, you had to get an external hard drive from companies like Rodyne, which definitely does sound like Rodan. Yeah, there's one of their hard drives look like, because I don't have one. But anyways, it's a computer that costs nearly 2,500 grand back in the day, and you had to shell out even more money to get an external hard drive, because back then hard drives weren't standardized as we know today. So yeah, it's a different time. And of course, the ports on the back are also different from what we know today. So let's take a look at them. Alrighty, so on the front is what looks like a phone cable, but it actually isn't. It's supposed to be for the keyboard. Yeah, remember that. And on the back is an assortment of ports. Yeah, you have the serial port for the mouse. This was before ADB. And then you had the DB19 and DB25 ports, which of course one of them are for the external floppy disk drive, and of course serial ports for printer and modem, and sound in and sound out. And you also have a power switch on the back. And, get this, you even have a removable battery. Yeah. Well, it uses a different clock battery from other Macs that would be later produced. Man, this is the olden days of Macs. Yeah, this was before the standardized micro clock batteries that were inside that you had to take apart just to replace. And before those huge Rayovac clock batteries. So yeah, different times. And of course you have, well, a detachable power supply. I explained in my Macintosh SC for some reason the power supply wasn't removable, but it actually was. You just have to take apart the computer and replace the power supply, just in case you have a faulty power supply. There you go. I'm not going to take it apart as... yeah, I don't really need to. Although, Jason's Macintosh Museum has a good video explaining how to take one of these apart. I still miss his videos. But anyways. This is one of the... like I said, this is one of the earlier Macs where it has no built-in hard drive, meaning you had to insert a floppy disk just to get the OS running. Yeah. I'm sure you guys had it all good nowadays with hard drives with built-in OSs. Because back then, you needed to insert the disk just to run the operating system. Just goes to show how much computers have evolved over time. And yeah, there's the keyboard, and there's the mouse. A lot different from the Apple mouse that we know today with its wireless connectivity. Magic Mouse is a really cool mouse, by the way. It's a futuristic looking mouse. So yeah. This was, for a time, an adequate computer. And if I remember correctly, it even appeared on, I think, Star Trek 4 or 6. Definitely the movie with the whale, I can't remember, but it appeared and Scotty said, "Hello, computer." But the computer doesn't have any voice recognition. No, this was before Macs had voice recognition. It wouldn't actually be long until Macs had voice recognition, because it was introduced in, believe it or not, the 90s. And nowadays, voice recognition is commonplace with Siri. So yeah, it just goes to show how far we've come. But anyways, let's take a look at the computer. I don't have a built-in hard disk, but I still want to show you what the OS is all about. Yeah, remember this? No BS, just flick the switch and it comes right on. Yeah, I'm sure you kids nowadays don't know what a switch flicker is, because you probably have never seen those flick switches on modern computers. Man, you kids have it easy today. We had to flick the switch back then. And on some Macs, you had to flick the switch and it will only power on the circuitry, whereas you had to power it on with the keyboard. So yeah, anyways, this is Macintosh System Disk. It's actually a reproduction, but still pretty close. Yeah, and once you put it in, You get floppy disk noises, and it boots up really quickly. I don't have an external hard drive to test, but the system that I'm running it on is version 4.1, which is actually error appropriate, by the way. So yeah. Alright, so there's the calculator. Remember that. What's 9 plus 10? It's 19. Yeah, calculator apps have existed even in the early days of Macs, but that's not surprising. So yeah, I'm going to test out the puzzle program. Yeah, it's Sudoku. I'm not so great at Sudoku, man. But I can show you the notepad. Yeah, it tells you what it is. Because, of course, back then this was really new. Because people were so used to putting in command lines. Especially in the Commodore 64. Man. I feel old by saying that. Alright, let's type in... Whoops. So yeah. There's a lot you can, well, there isn't a whole lot you can do outside of just that disk. So you had to install a secondary floppy or an external hard drive just to use any more programs. Alright, so let's use the calculator again. Alright, so what's 2 plus 2? Yeah, the keyboard actually works. Which is amazing considering that it's really old. Okay, let's go to alarm clock. Yeah. Let's go to the control panel. So yeah, there is a lot you can do with the control panel. You can even adjust the speed with the mouse. Remember that? But because this OS is primitive compared to other modern OSs, you only get the one alert sound. You can't actually change it. It wasn't until, I think, System 6 where you could change it. But anyways, let's try Notepad again. Yeah. Yeah, it could actually print, which is cool. So yeah, that's what you got back then. Let's go to keycaps. Maybe we can actually use the keyboard here. So yeah, let's type in Macintosh. Yeah, some keys don't work because it's old as the hills, but oh well. The keyboard still works. And this was a pretty advanced system back in the day. So back then, this was pretty advanced and ahead of its time, considering that most other operating systems had you typing in command lines. So back then, this was a huge deal, and if you got this computer, you would have gotten some instructions on cassette telling you how this operating system works, because this was rather new. So yeah, really old, and I would like to play some games on it, but unfortunately I couldn't. Aside from that one Sudoku game, but I don't know how Sudoku works. I'm not good at it. I'm sorry. But anyways, let's shut the computer down and get that criminal. And that does it for now. Nowadays, the Macintosh Plus is nothing more than a collectible curiosity. It's not the kind of system you would want to play games on. It's just there to be a collector's item. Because there isn't much you can do with just one floppy. You had to get an external floppy drive or even an external hard drive. This was before computers had built-in hard drives. And it just goes to show how far computers have advanced nowadays. Especially when we have Macs with M1 chips and really powerful gaming PCs with AMD Ryzen processors. But back then, all we had were Macs with Motorola 68000 chips and PCs with Intel 8086 chips where you had to type in command lines. It was a lot different back then, but I have to catch that criminal. So for now, peace out. Surprise! There you are. I got you right where I want it. You're not using that dynamite to blow up the poor, innocent people at Next Computer. It's time I put you in your place. Alrighty. Go away again. Only one way to find out where he's going. Smaller channels are at risk, and every subscriber means a lot to them. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the latest Racer Cinema Productions videos. And together, we can help drive the YouTube algorithm away from this channel, so that I don't succumb to the fate of other smaller channels getting